I was like, yeah, get the bills out of the camera shot.
Do you guys have a team?
Rob's all about Cowboys.
Cowboys?
Yeah.
How about you
We're
guys?
from Texas. Come on.
I think because we met at an Eagles game,
Oh, that's
we're
right,
both
that's right.
by like default Eagle fans now.
Go Bills.
Might grab this little.
Why can't I start without you?
Welcome to Beyond the Base.
Building a home wherever we go.
I'm Kyndah.
I'm Carol.
And I'm Jackie. Today we are talking about maintaining our relationships with our spouses, our friends, and our extended family. How do we do it? How do we do it?
How do we do it?
It's so hard.
Lord. We don't know how to do it, but we do it.
But we're doing it. So, how long have you been a military spouse?
I've been following Pablo for about 8 years, but we've only been married for about 4 years. So, like 8 years-ish.
Okay.
I think probably today our hardest point was learning how to maintain our relationship while having 2 kids under 2.
2 under 2.
Yes.
Ooh.
Living in
2
North.
boys under 2.
Exactly.
2 boys. It's like having twins. Huh?
Exactly. Yeah. We lived in North Carolina, and our families lived basically on the West Coast, so we never saw them, which meant we only had each other. So we had to figure out how to do that. I think a big part was finding small moments that we needed to be together, do stuff together, you know, whether if it was like just literally watching a TV show, making time.
Sorry, I have a question for you. So, what advice would you give a 2 under 2 mama right now? Like, she's asking you, like, I'm struggling, crying, breakdowns every day, my husband's away. What would you tell her? Because, I mean, you've gone through the struggle.
Yes, I would definitely say to someone who has 2 under 2 that it is hard. Don't think about it every single moment. Do stuff that makes you happy, whether that's drinking coffee. Make sure you're actually drinking your coffee, not just setting it down and letting it get cold. I am infamous for that. Do the little things like finding time to work out, whether it's like 20 minutes during their nap, or, you know, calling that one person who you can vent to openly 20 minutes while they're napping. Make sure that you're actually doing the maintenance on yourself, because unfortunately when our husbands are away, they can't help maintain the house, the kids, or your emotions. So you need to find what makes it easier for you. So it is hard, but there are small things that can help you get through. You just need to figure out what those small things are.
Absolutely. That's good.
What about you? How long have you been a military spouse?
I have been a military spouse for, let's see, about six years. Yeah, 2 tours. So one tour, my husband and I did a geo-batch tour. So he lived in Mayport, Florida, while I lived in San Diego and was working on my career. That was tough, you know, because you only got to see him 4 or 5 times out of the year. Oh, bless you. Bless you. But that's pre-baby, so we didn't have a baby then. We were kind of just, what's it called? Dinks? Dual income, no kids. So we were kind of just doing whatever we want.
Dinks.
Yeah, so as a teacher, I would just go visit him every summer, spring, fall, winter, Thanksgiving break, and we would camp out. But I kind of feel like, honestly, you kind of almost have to learn how to live with each other again after like months of not being together, and then you kind of just have to warmly get to know each other again, especially because we were fresh. Like, we literally got married and he moved away for 3 years.
Yeah.
So that was the start of our marriage.
Like, you get used to just doing everything yourself, or
Yeah.
you get used to doing everything one way.
Yeah. I mean, it did get sad, like, you know, when you FaceTime each other and he's eating alone, and then I'm over here, like, because I lived in a house with my friends. So that was tough. And then after that tour, we came over here. So this would be our first time after getting married that we lived together. Before we got married, we already lived together, but we did 3 years apart, and then we moved out here. Moving out here, I think there was a lot of challenges. Like, pre-baby, I had issues with, like, letting go of my career, starting all over, being so far away from family on the mainland, or, like, just not being able to see them whenever. And we moved out here 2 weeks before the pandemic like shut everything down. Honestly, the pandemic helped me because I felt like everybody was isolated, like nobody was going out, nobody was traveling or blah blah blah. So I didn't really feel left out. But here, I think we just kind of had to get situated with who we are as a married couple living together on an island, because it's totally different than when we were living in San Diego together.
Right.
So after baby, now there's a lot of things we have to figure out, like what is the schedule for cleaning, because now with a baby, like you don't have a lot of free time, or what are responsibilities of his that he needs to do around the house, or things that I should do around the house.
Yeah.
That's a struggle that we're still trying to kind of figure out, to be honest. Our house is a shit show, according to Daniel. But
I feel like every age or every month is different because they grow
that's true.
and like, you know, responsibilities may shift, you know. So I don't know.
I think overall, when the babies are super baby, like infant before 1 age, it's just like mostly the mom anyways, you know, like doing all the hard stuff more or less.
Yeah. Sometimes that's tough to accept. Like that's a tough pill to swallow, especially if you weren't grooming yourself your whole life to be a stay-at-home mom. Like I was always driven to like get a career, go get your education and all that. Honestly, like making friends, like which is going to be the next topic too, that really helps with motherhood, and just like getting out of the house, like not being at the same place all the time, that really helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kyndah, how about you?
I don't know.
As a new married couple, like what would you say was a challenge pre-baby, post-baby?
I don't know. It's been so fun, honestly. It's been so fun. You know, we dated for a while prior to like moving in together, so we were really looking forward to like this next chapter. So, you know, I'm really enjoying it, and I feel like he is too. There is some nights where it is hard, where it's like she's a little fussy and stuff, but then we kind of just like laugh about it. I'm like, you know, this is what we prayed for. This is what we wanted, so we're here now, and we're just super blessed and grateful for it. But there is some hard days. I'm not saying it's like all fairies and butterflies and flowers and stuff, but it's been great, honestly. But yeah, maintaining the relationship before baby was hard because we were dating long distance. Dating long distance, and yeah, lots of phone calls, lots of FaceTime. He was living in Paradise, I was living in Texas, both working, so that was hard for me, you know. I would kind of get like sad, like, man, he's living the life in Paradise, at the beach, oh, I'm going surfing, whatever, and I'm like, dang, like, I'm going home, like I'm going to bed after a long like day at work. Yeah, that was hard, but you know, just communication was key for us, and just being honest with each other. Like I was honest with him how I felt. I felt, you know, some days I was like, hey, today was hard for me because like, dang. So, you know, that communication is key.
Your marriage or relationships in general, like communication is 100% important. Like without it, you're kind of just walking around the house, guessing what they're thinking, and they're guessing what you're thinking. And if you don't communicate your actual thoughts, nothing will ever get solved, nothing will ever get fixed.
Say the hard part.
And it's hard too to talk about hard topics like parenting. My parenting is different than Daniel's parenting. Like I have to know and accept that. And if I have a problem with the way he's parenting or vice versa, then we need to communicate that. And same thing also with like non-baby issues, right? Your relationship changes when you have a baby and the dynamics change. So if you don't communicate, I think it'll be harder to navigate through.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to talk about communication because communication, I've learned, it's hard. Like it's hard to tell your husband I'm not happy all the time. Like he doesn't want to hear that. He hates hearing that.
No, just creating a safe space. Like before you speak to each other, like, hey, safe space, whatever you say, vice versa, it should be,
all
you know,
it
should be cool. Like, I think you should emphasize that before you guys have the conversation instead of like, hey, blah, 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 and while they're sitting on the couch and they have no warning of it.
Just so you know, I grew up in the hood, so I would have to remind Daniel, sometimes I just passionately talk.
It just comes out of me.
But then when I like lightly talk, he's like, "What? What did you say?" I'm all, "Oh, I don't know how to talk."
Yeah, you don't want to come across like, Pablo and I have opposite personalities, which was pretty hard to, because usually it's like the woman who is like the extrovert, strong personality, and the male is like the quiet, you know, we're opposite, where he's like really strong and I'm like the more non-confrontational. So that was a lot of trial and error figuring out like what worked for us, because he had to learn how to come across in like a calm, safe way for me, because I feel like attacked very easily. I feel like, I don't know, I'm just a softie. But so he had to like actually learn how to deal with my emotions.
I like how you guys at least know your differences, because I think that's the first step, is to know that you're different, right? Like if you don't even know you're different, then how are you gonna address those issues?
Right.
Yeah.
So how often do you talk with your family, your friends and stuff back home? Like how much do you FaceTime, call?
We
Do you have like a small group that you only
So
continuously talk to?
Yeah, I do have a small group of friends that I always like. We have a Snapchat going and we like vlog, I guess, daily, like what we're doing, blah blah blah. So that keeps me connected to like my best friends at home, and then my family group chat, and my in-laws too. We FaceTime them like every other day, or when I'm like just me and Mila are just kind of like bored, let me FaceTime them. But also like the time difference is a little hard. But we make it work.
Is it 5 hours?
5 hours. It's okay, right?
Yeah.
It could be tough though, because it's hard to contact, once you move more east, it's harder to contact them, because by the time they're sleeping or we're like barely waking up or something.
Yeah. But yeah, I make it a point to FaceTime them. It's just important. I want them to see like Mila on FaceTime and her not to be like stranger danger when she sees them. So that's important to me. But
Yeah,
I
it was
try to
only 3 hours, right?
3 hours, yes. So I usually call my mom in the morning. I feel like I call my mom more often now that Reagan's here, because she should see her Lola every time, you know. I also want her to talk to her Lola, so when she sees her in person, she's not, you know,
Knows
scared.
her face,
I love that.
knows her
Lola.
voice.
Lola, yeah.
Knows her face, knows her sound.
Yeah. Yeah, so now every time she sees her Lola on FaceTime, she's always smiling because she knows them. Yeah, so that's good. So that kind of brought me and my mom closer, I feel like Reagan did. Before that, I probably call my mom once a week or once every 2 weeks. I have to really like be sitting down and into the conversation sometimes. I'm glad that my mom and I FaceTime a lot. We have a group chat for our family called La Familia. So we go on there. One time they were like blowing it up, the family chat, and Daniel was in there, so I didn't want him bothered, so I had taken him out. But Daniel had told me after I'd taken him out, he was like, how come you took me out of the family chat? Like, I feel left out. And I was like, I was just trying not to bother you because you're at work and stuff. And he was like, I want to be included. I was like, you don't care if there's 30 messages of bullshit? And he was like, I'll read it.
That's the point. That's the point.
Yeah. So it's nice to like, you know, I'm glad that my husband gets along with my family because it's really important to you.
That is so important.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, my husband does not have social media. He's just not a fan. And so I am the one that contacts his family and my family, which is like nice because I'm the one that likes to talk a lot anyway. So, you know, I'm like in constant communication with his cousins and, you know, his mom and then my family all the time.
Yeah.
Which is so nice. I just have like a number of people I can just always reach, you know. I made a post when I moved on island because I was determined not to keep the same lonely fate I had in North Carolina and Vegas of having no friends.
Wait, can you say the years for North Carolina and Vegas so I remember?
For North Carolina, we were there from 2016 to 2019, and then 2020 to 23 for Vegas.
Okay. And that's when COVID, you were in Vegas during
Yes,
COVID. Okay.
yeah, the same summer COVID, we moved to Vegas. Yes, exactly. But so I did not make any friends in North Carolina or Vegas, and I was determined to not have that same fate. So when I got here, there was a military spouses group on Facebook that was to all military spouses, because there's so many bases here with Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, Army, and Marines. And so I posted on there and said, hey, I live in this area and I'm looking to make friends. And a few people posted, but only one stuck. And that was Carol.
And Ray was there too.
Yeah, it was when you were pregnant. Yeah.
I was about to pop. Yeah, so we met at a boba shop.
We did. We agreed to meet at a boba shop and have a boba together. And I think that was like the start of it. I was unsure if we were going to continue the friendship, but only because you were about to pop.
Right.
You were like a month, I think, away from giving birth.
And then I was having like emergency stuff going on, so it kept disappearing.
Right. And then in December, you had a Christmas party.
That's right. I did have a Christmas party.
Yeah.
That brought everyone together. Yeah.
That's where we met.
Oh.
At her Christmas party.
Oh.
Do you remember bringing all her
I
friends
remember, yeah, the
together?
white elephant.
Yeah, and it was really fun.
Yeah.
It was really good. I think that was kind of like the start, the official start of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first got here, I literally hid in my garage for 3 years, like no joke. I remember you saying when I first met Kyndah, she said she used to make 2 friends, or her goal was to make 2 friends a day in Kauai. And I was like, dang, I think I made 3 friends in 3 years. The reason why I actually tried is I had another friend. She called me out and basically said I wasn't trying to make friends. I think a part of me just got like offensive because I had a group of friends back home that I was fully invested in, you know, long-term relationships, and I guess I couldn't just let that go when I moved over here. I feel like holding on to San Diego friends, or like my life in San Diego, prohibited me from
Making a future.
a future here, or even living in the present, because I'm always trying to go back to San Diego. I want to hang out with people in San Diego. I want to see family in San
Worried
Diego.
about what's going on.
Yeah, so I think it's really important to make friends like wherever you move as a military spouse. So that's the hard part. Like every 3 years, like we usually move. So it's kind of sad to know that at some point we all won't be together anymore, you know, because we're going to be in our new station or whatnot.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we're investing in it. Our
Or-
support system is important. I think especially for us, none of us live on base where the access to friends and community is right at your fingertips. We don't have any of that, so we kind of have to make our own over here off base.
Yeah. So if you're looking for friends, like I recommend going on Facebook. That's where we found each other, and I feel like we had a conversation about it being weird at our age to talk about making friends.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't, especially if you're not going to school, or especially if you're not going to work, like it's kind of hard to meet people.
It feels like a little disingenuous, like a little bit, because you're like what? You feel like you're auditioning, but like for what?
For what?
A spot in your life.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Pretty much. They make the cut.
I cook, I clean. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
That's funny.
But you have to do that, you know, or else you're gonna be stuck in the garage for 3 years and.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, only if you're looking for friends. If
Yeah.
you're not, then stay home.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah, stay
Do your
home.
thing if that's what makes you happy. Stay home with your kids, which is great. But hey, I think your kids are seeing you, you know, connect with others, and I think that's what's important.
Yeah.
You know, getting your kids outside too.
Absolutely. Around other
Making
kids.
connections. It's so important.
Yeah.
So, and you learn like who are your people, who aren't your people. And it's okay if like the person that you met on Facebook you didn't connect
Yeah.
with, you know?
Absolutely.
You're not gonna connect with everyone.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul. Yeah, exactly.
At least you tried.
Yeah.
So do you guys still stay connected with other people or other friends that you met at
Like
different
military
stations?
spouses?
At different stations.
I do. My neighbor, Adriana, she from North Carolina. I think her and I still chat, you know, just keeping up with the kids and seeing where they're stationed, where they're going, what's going on with them, just keeping up with stuff like that.
Through social media.
Through social media. And then I think and then when we were in Vegas, there was a younger couple, a few younger couples who had, like in their early 20s, had just kind of gotten married. I love watching them, communicating with them on Facebook or on Instagram and TikTok and stuff. Seeing they just had babies and stuff like that, which is so cool. But other than that, like I said, I didn't really have many like friendships.
Yeah.
But I did have those, and I do keep in contact with them. You know, whenever I think of them, I let them know and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's nice.
And do you meet any spouses?
This would be my first station moving away, so I never really made any friends. Oh, actually, I did make a friend in Florida. They had a camper too with their kids.
Oh, fun.
Camp life is actually really cool. We want to do that after Daniel retires for a year. We would spend Christmas with them. We only see each other on Facebook. But for like friends from where I'm from, mainly social media. You know, I think social media is a good place to like keep up with everybody at the same time.
Where they post like their kids or like new milestones.
Or
like
what they're doing. Yeah,
it's
a good thing to follow up with people that you still care about.
Absolutely.
If they share it.
Yeah.
But I also have a motto, like I'm only investing time with people who want to invest time with me. So, and
Absolutely.
I think, and for me, that's been a big game changer, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you can meet a lot of people, and it takes I don't know, the way I love, like, spend time with people, I try my best to go all out for everybody.
She really does. She makes burgers,
Burger
Burger night, movie night, taco night, you name it. She'll make it happen.
Yeah, I know, poker night.
She will make it happen.
And I feel like if, you know, people are not willing to put in that effort too, or even, like, some kind of effort, like...
Absolutely.
I ain't got time to waste anymore, you know. My time should be primarily going to my baby, and if I have spare time for my friends, then I'd like for my friends to appreciate it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So, yeah, that's been really important, but mainly through social.
Yeah.
And text, maybe.
Yeah.
Have you met any spouses?
Yeah, at previous station, well, the only station,
Kauai.
Kauai, 15 minutes away. We met a lot of, it's such a tight family. The community is so tight. So, you know, sometimes we'll bounce back and, you know,
Go see them.
hang out and
That's
everything.
So nice.
You have fun when you go over there.
Yeah, we have so much fun. And not everybody is in the military. We also, like, made friends from island. Because I was making 2 friends a day while being on the island.
You go, girl.
Well, when she said it, I literally was like, dang, I make no friends.
So 2 friends a day.
Yes.
I was making in Kauai. So I pretty much met the whole island.
I wouldn't doubt it. And they probably loved you.
Aw. I hope so. I love them, so it was nice. So everybody kind of got new stations there from Kauai, so still keep in contact somewhere in California, you know, keep in contact with them through text. Also because I ask them questions about PCSing. But yeah, I ask them a bunch of questions about the military.
Which is nice to just
In
have
general,
people that you can reach out to if you want.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And then also I had Mila, and everybody was reaching out too, you know, how's Mila,
That's so nice.
So that was nice of them. And yeah, vice versa.
I think I'm really excited to see here because I've actually met a number, I mean, maybe even up to 10 Marine spouses that I actually really like, that I would like to continue to be friends with or see where, like, the friendship goes. I know I never get to see them because they live 45 minutes on the other side of the island, but, like, I mean, I wonder if we're going to keep in touch at our next space and continue.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see.
I'm sure you will. They're great. I met them once, so
Yeah.
they're cool.
So thank you for watching this episode where we talked about maintaining our relationship with...
Our spouses, our friends, and extended families. Tune in next time where we're going to talk about mental health and wellness. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach us on any of our platforms at Beyond the Base Podcast, on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Thanks for listening to Beyond the Base.
I'm Kyndah.
I'm Carol.
And I'm Jackie. See you next
See ya.
time.
See ya.
This is Ray. This is Mila. Thanks for tuning in.
Yay!